Hi everyone, I'm Michelle. Welcome back to my channel. I hope you're all having a wonderful day so far. So this is gonna be a catch up of everything I've been crocheting in the last couple weeks. I have a tote bag here full of amigurumis, and honestly this was full, but I took a good amount of amigurumis to a shop that I sell at. So I didn't unfortunately have time to record this video before doing that. So there's a ton of amigurumis here, and if you want to see even more, and they're all makes that I made within the last couple weeks, go watch the last video that I posted, which is I think I titled it like restocking amigurumis at a local shop or something like that. But I there show you a bunch more and prices and all that fun stuff. But yeah, I do have a ton here. So let's get started on showing you guys everything I've been crocheting. So life has been a bit hectic like always, and surprisingly I was able to get quite a few things done. I just wish I had like everything to show you guys, but luckily I did record that video, so it is somewhat documented, but I wish I had everything to show you guys in here. Anyways, a few weeks ago, someone commented that they want me to make something from this colorway of yarn, and I was like, okay, let's do it. So that was one of the first of these makes. I grabbed a skein that was partially used and I finished it up. I made 2 loaf cats with it, so you could see how the colors change a bit, but I think it was really cute. I love them. I hope these are gonna find homes one day. I think I'm gonna take these to markets rather than post them online. I don't know. I feel like I mentioned this in so many videos now where I'm like, do I post it on my Etsy shop? Do I take it to a market? Do I take it to the little shop? I'm still figuring everything out, but I love these so much. I think they're adorable, and this is using the retro stripes, red heart retro stripes yarn. So I know it's not a big project where you can see all the color changing, but I was just really in a loaf cat mood these last couple weeks, so I made these 2 loaf cats, which is a paid for pattern, and I grabbed, I think there's some more right here too, this blue yarn right here. I grabbed one of those skeins and I thought, you know what, I'm gonna finish it. I'm gonna just make what I can make from it. So here is another loaf cat with white, and this one you can see it is a little bit smaller. That yarn is a little bit thinner, so the loaf cat definitely came out smaller. In that same yarn, I made a whale keychain. It's super cute. I definitely want to keep making more keychains. I feel like I need to stock up on those. And I made one of my favorite makes, things to make, but unfortunately it takes me forever to make this item, but I really love the outcome of it. So yeah, this is the Timothy the T-Rex pattern. It's a paid for pattern. I think it's $6 on Etsy, and it's so cute. The only thing is, whenever I make this with the stripes, they always come out more to one side than to the other, so I do have to adjust the pattern as I'm crocheting, but I already know to look out for that because that's something that always happens to the back of my Timothy the T-Rex. These 2 will end up like, if I went the way that the pattern says, it'll end up like here, but that could have to do with my tension as well. So yeah, I do love this pattern so much. Again, it does take me forever to make it, but I think it came out super cute, and I like to have at least a couple of those when I do markets. I think I might have one right now in like my market bags, so maybe I should make a couple more. Then I had this small skein of yarn. It was called Flowers or something. It was from a Dollar Tree, and I only found one, and I bought it, and I had it here for the longest time. You guys could probably tell I'm working through my yarn, but I had a small skein of it, and I thought I'm going to finally use it because it's one of those skeins that I've been saving for a special project, and I thought, I just don't know. It's hard to save small skeins of yarn for special projects because I'm always afraid that I'll never have enough of it to finish whatever project I want to work on. So I thought better to make a couple smaller projects than one big one and not have enough yarn, since I literally just had the one small skein. But I made a loaf cat and she came out super cute. So the flowers yarn has like these puff balls, and most of them did end up inside the amigurumi. So before I stuffed it, I went through and pulled out most of them so you could see them, or else they'd be stuck in the inside forever. But I think it was really cute, and yeah, I wish I had more of this yarn, but I don't know. I've never seen it again, and to be honest, my Dollar Trees really suck when it comes to yarn. I hardly ever see any type of yarn there, so I was lucky when I found that like a year ago. I've been saving it, honestly. I've been saving it just in case if I found more of it, but I never did. I have 2 popping mushrooms. This is a free pattern on Instagram, and they're just mushrooms that pop. So I made 2 of them with that blue flower yarn. I was gonna say floral, with the blue flower yarn, and I gave them different expressions. They're really cute popping mushrooms. I actually made so many of these for my very last market that I did. I think I made like a dozen maybe, and people would play with them. None of them sold. So I don't know, maybe it was just the crowd that day. As you can see, I'm still making more because I love to make them, even if people aren't gonna buy them. Which might sound crazy, but they're just so cute to make. So I don't know, nobody bought them, but people definitely saw them. So that has me a little bit iffy if they're gonna not be popular items. I don't know. I grabbed some blue yarn and I made a whale. This was a almost like a scrap ball that was left. So the first thing I made was an octo, which, oh, actually, I totally forgot. I have an octo here. I made 2 of these. I took one of them to the shop, but I have 2 octos that I made, and then with the leftover, I made a whale, and I just used a scrap piece, a literal scrap piece for the bottom. So these, well, it was 3 items came from that spare of this yarn. It was already in use. Then let's go back to the Loaf Cats. I made this black Loaf Cat, and this one came out a little bit bigger than normal. This is pretty much the normal size for my Loaf Cats, and this one came out quite a bit bigger. The reason for that is I used a Red Heart yarn. Was it Red Heart? No, it wasn't Red Heart. I don't remember what it was, but it was a thinner worsted weight yarn, and I think it's, I want to say Karen, but I'm pretty sure Karen is a thicker yarn. Oh my goodness, I can't remember what it was, but it was a thinner worsted weight yarn, and I decided that I was going to hold 2 strands together because when I used one strand, you can see it didn't work well with my tension. It worked better holding 2 together. So this one is a little bit tight, but super cute. And this is kind of like a tuxedo cat. He's so cute. You can't even really see his like second whisker right here, but he has a whisker. I embroidered 2 whiskers on each side, but he's super cute. I love it. Then I, using up that yarn, made a second one. But I think I'm going to redo his nose because you can't really see it. I like how this one stands out. I don't know. I think I'm going to redo the nose. I did put little like color on the eyes too. I think that's really cute. But what do you think? the nose needs to be darker, right? You can't really see it too well. In person, it looks very similar to what it looks like on camera. Like you have to look for it. So I think I'm gonna redo it so she has a little black nose too. But I got 2 Loaf Cats out of that, and then I think, are there more here? Yes. It was a very, very Loaf Cat a couple of weeks. I honestly got, like, I started making them and I wanted to make them in every color. The fun thing about the Loaf Cats is you can make them in like realistic colors, but obviously you can make them in like random crazy colors and they still look so cute. So I did what is this called? A tabby cat in purple, and I made 2 of these. This is another one that I took to the shop, and I'm thinking about making a 3rd one of this exact colorway, so we'll see. Keep an eye out for next week. But it's super cute. And then I think I made 2 more Loaf Cats that I don't have here, but I showed them in that video. If I'm not mistaken, it was a complete white Loaf Cat, and then I know I took one of these, and I can't remember what the 3rd one was, but yeah, I made a lot of things this last week. This is from my Halloween bunch pattern set. So in the Halloween bunch pattern set, there's a candy corn, a ghost, a black cat, a pumpkin, and a cauldron. So I used the ghost pattern, and then I just added a little pumpkin for her to hold. I think it's super cute. This is the 2nd one that I made. I made 2 of them, and one of them I took to the shop. They had slightly different expressions, but yeah, it's really cute. The white yarn is like a speckled yarn from Hobby Lobby that I only had 1 skein of, so I'm sad it's gone, but it's one of those yarns. Again, I've been saving it for something special, and I thought, what's more special than using it on one of my own patterns, and one of my favorite ones that I've made too at that. So that's her. She's so cute. And the little pumpkin, I honestly just freehanded the pumpkin, but if you have this pattern or any pattern and you're trying to make a little pumpkin and you don't really know like what stitch count to do, just message me. I can definitely just kind of figure it out and send it to you. It's just a little pumpkin. Super cute. I honestly just freehanded it on both of them, so they might be slightly different sizes. I don't have them together anymore, obviously, because I took one, but yeah, I just think it's so cute. I really love her. I'm planning on making more of those too. This pattern was a free pattern that I found on Instagram. I'm assuming it's called like Queen Bee or something. I have no idea, but it is a Queen Bee. I use big safety eyes for her too. So she has a crown and her 2 wings. So at this point I had ran out of white worsted weight yarn, and I was using, again, like these cats. It was a thinner weight yarn, kind of like this one, but this is a white yarn, but it has like sparkles in it. So again, I'm saving that one. But it was a thinner yarn, and I just held 2 together to make the wings. And yeah, I used big safety eyes for her. I think it worked out really well. She's super cute. Came out a lot bigger than I was expecting, but I love it. I love her. Then I have a long dog, a purple long dog, and with this was the very last project that I have to show you guys in this color of yarn. I loved it so much, but I finished it, which is good. I've been going through a lot of my yarn, honestly. Yeah, I love it. Super cute. This long dog pattern is a paid for pattern on Etsy. I think it might be around $4, but I've made a few of them. Honestly, it is a lot of sewing on this pattern for sure, but what I did differently this time around, because recently I made 4 long dogs, this one, and then I made 3 of these that I gave to Bingo and Bluey. I gave them 1 each when I saw the characters at D23. Since I knew I was going to be making multiple of them, what I did this time was bobble stitches for the feet instead of separate pieces and sewing them on. Because on top of that, the tail is crocheted on, the ears are sewn on, and then the heart. So when you do 4 bobble stitch feet, then the only things you have to sew on are the hearts, the ears, and then embroider the nose and the eyes. So it's not too bad when you do that. But if you have the time to sew on the feet, yeah, I mean, I don't usually mind doing it, but again, since I knew I was going to be making so many, I thought I'm going to try to speed up the process a little bit. I did make these like 2 days before we left too for the trip. So I made pumpkins. I'm pretty sure I made 2 more that I showed in the last video. One of them is this color, and it was so pretty. But I have 1 purple pumpkin to show you. I'm thinking of making pumpkins in, I don't know what that is. I'm thinking of making pumpkins in different colors, like not just orange and tan, but also different colors like this. I don't know if those would be even popular though. And it is kind of hard when I'm doing like seasonal stuff, and on top of that, not knowing if it's going to be something people want, because I don't want to necessarily be like stuck with them at the end of the season. So we'll see. Maybe I'll make a few and see how that goes. I don't know when my next market is going to be though. So something else I might do. I made 2 turtles. This is a free pattern on Instagram, and I'll show you one at a time. So this blue one, I used the very last piece of the yarn that I used to make this Timothy. I used that for up here, and then I used a scrap ball for the blue, and it just worked out so perfectly. I love it. Super cute turtle pattern. And then this one, I don't know how I did this, because usually these things do not look this perfect, but again, I made the shell using scrap pieces of yarn, 3 scrap pieces of yarn. This top yellow greenish piece was the remainder after I made this cat, so I used that here, and then I attached a pink scrap that I had, and then I attached a darker pink scrap that I have, and that's how this shell came out. I love it so much. I don't actually have a ton of scrap ball pieces. Usually I'll work with them as soon as I finish like making an amigurumi. I try to finish up the scrap pieces. I do have maybe a little more than a dozen little pieces of scrap balls, which I'm happy to keep them at a minimum. I have basically what I could fit in a little box. Maybe I'll put in a clip of that, but I don't have a lot, and I don't know how I was able to color coordinate these, but I love it. Then I even used up all the rest of this. I thought I was gonna have enough, but I didn't. The turtle itself also used up some scrap yarn, and I finished it with this like sage green kind of. So yeah, very scrappy turtle. I don't even know how many of these I made, but I made quite a few. Again, I showed more in the last video that I posted, but I have a couple here to show you. So these are some ghosts. I don't use a pattern for these, I just freehand them, but I have a ghost keychain, well, 2 ghost keychains. I think I maybe took 2 of these also to the shop, but they don't want to face you. But I have 2 ghost keychains. Come on, there you go. And then I did a couple without keychains as well, but all I have here is the one. Then I made 2 with witch hats, and this one is a pattern. It I was surprised because this is my ghost and this is the witch hat ghost, and they looked very, very similar. So like in size too. So I was surprised when I found this pattern. I was like, okay, that's perfect, because it looks very similar to my ghost. Anyways, I think the bottom is just different. But yes, this is a free pattern on Instagram. Then I have a couple penguins, and I know I took some of these as well because I know I made a bunch of penguins. But I have one in like a regular penguin color and then in a purple, because I have this dark purple and I'm trying to find things to make with it because I don't use dark colored yarns super often, except for like black and browns. But when it comes to like dark purple, dark blue, like those type of colors, burgundy, I don't use them too often. So I'm trying to work through the yarns that I have, as you can see. And yeah, I'm really going through my dark purple right now. I just have one skein that I'm using, and it's lasting a while. So that's another reason why I'm thinking I might make another one of these. Not that it uses a ton of the dark purple, to be honest. It uses very little of the dark purple color. Obviously it mostly uses the light purple, but it's something else that I could make with it. So because if I only made penguins, it would take me forever as well to get through this game. But anyways, these are from a free pattern on Instagram, and I love this pattern so much. Depending on the yarn you use though, you can get like a pretty chubby penguin, and this one's a little bit thinner. But yeah, this gray one turned out pretty chubby. That is it for everything I made. But like I said, there was like, I want to say at least like 20 other plushies in the last video that should have been here. And I'm going to count everything and then I'll be right back. So there were 25 plushies that I showed you this week. I wasn't able to record the last couple weeks. It's been really hectic, and yeah, but I'm excited hopefully to get back to normal. It's been just a small break that I had. I did actually forget in the last video that I keep mentioning, I brought home a couple plushies and I forgot to add that part to the video. So let me show you guys right now, just in case you did watch that video. Let me show you guys what I brought home. Okay, so that I brought back from the shop, this is the bag that I took, full of stuffed animals. And honestly, I already knew what I wanted to bring back, but when I got there it was a little bit more bare, and I feel like maybe I didn't bring enough things. I didn't take enough things. Anyways, I already knew what I wanted to bring back, which I had mentioned in that video, this bumblebee turtle. I've had it there for a bit and I want to take it to a market. Instead, I had this manatee there. I think it's really cute, but it has been there for a bit and it does take up quite a bit of space since it's a bigger plushie. I had it there for $25, which I think is a fair price. It's really big. It took me a long time to make it, and I think it's cute. I might add a little bow to it. I think that would be adorable, like a pink bow. So I think I'm gonna do that actually. And then the very last thing I brought brought back home was this large squid. I think he's cute, but again, it does take up a lot of space. It's a larger plushie and it's been there for a bit, so I decided to bring it back. I had this one marked for $30. Yeah, the bigger plushies, they get what I think happens because I get there and they're like all over the place. So I feel like they do get picked up, but they get knocked over a lot also. So this one, often when I would go into the shop, it was like on its side. The manatee was like often all over the place. So yeah, I think these bigger guys are probably better for my markets, but you never know. So sometimes I do take bigger things and they sell, and sometimes they don't. Definitely more, the popular price range is like $10, $15. Lower price ranges, yeah, would definitely be are more popular. But yeah, I thought 25 for the manatee was decent. I honestly really like the manatee. I think it's cute. That was the reason that I bought the pattern book from Stringy Ding Ding. I think it's called like Ocean Life or something. It was literally just for that manatee pattern because, well, I loved all the patterns in the book, but what really made me want it was that manatee pattern because I think it's so cute. And I did make two. Yeah, I just want to add a little bow to it. I think that'd be super cute. But anyways, that was it for this video. Thank you so much for joining me. If you want to follow me on Instagram or TikTok or I think that's all I have. I always have everything linked in the description box below. I also have my both shops there, my Etsy pattern shop as well as my Etsy plushie shop. So if you're ever interested in anything, you can always check there, or feel free to send me a message, an email, or through Instagram or Facebook or anything. So yeah, thank you so much for joining me again, and I hope you all have a wonderful day. I hope you were able to get some crocheting done maybe while you were watching this. If not yet, I hope you're able to crochet later on today. But again, thank you so much, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!